This is my entire Separatist Army as of 2025. Of course, there is a lot to talk about, and I'll start with the vehicles, starting with the AAT, or Armored Assault Tank, that released back in 2020. This one is actually pretty inaccurate because of the cannon sizes. I forgot which side goes where, so I actually swapped it because one side is the accurate way and one side is the way Lego puts it. You can obviously tell with this set they didn't put too much attention to detail, but for looking good in a Separatist Army, that definitely checks the boxes. It has a pretty cool interior here, which you can simply lift up and fit one of the droids, and then also lift up the top with an adjustable cannon. But this isn't really a review of the set. Still think it is pretty cool, and also is basically a very iconic part of the Separatist Army. Probably my favorite part is 2020's General Grievous's Starfighter here, which actually has a lot of cool play features like this sliding cockpit, which is actually really accurate to the show. It has stud shooters as well as a flick fire missile below there, and an adjustable fin in the back for landing position and in flight position. And this set, to get full set, is actually really expensive because of the minifigures, mainly being the 212s with the last ever cloth waist cape that we've ever gotten, and General Grievous does go for a pretty penny as well. But I only have the build in my collection still. I think it is a pretty cool build. And I also have the newer Spider Droid, which is actually really cool. The Dwarf Spider Droid came in the 327th battle pack. Is actually one of the only really good parts about that battle pack. This is definitely better than the last Spider Droid that we got. Really like this one, and hope they include it in a lot more sets. And I believe when the anniversary of Phantom Menace was, which I think was in 2023, they had this polybag for the AAT here, which looks very nice. It's actually one of my favorites, more of the Trade Federation rather than Separatists from episode 1, but I actually really like this. It is one of my favorite poly bags. Of course, in the back, I have the Octo Droid from the 2023 battle pack here, which looks very nice. Sadly, I only have one of them, but this is one of the cooler parts of my Separatist Army. Takes up a decent space. I also have two Stab Speeders, one of them being this beautiful one here in the bright blue, which came in the same battle pack as the Octo Droid. I also have more of a Trade Federation brown color one that came in 2023 Advent Calendar. Now, for the next ship, you can see right here, it's sort of a ship, but it's sort of not. Well, it's definitely a ship, but I don't know if it's really part of the Separatist Army. But I did just finish building the Sith Infiltrator, which I thought was a cool part to include. Technically, Maul isn't really part of the Separatists, but I thought it'd be cool to include him because I have a lot of cool Maul stuff that I didn't know what other army to really put him in. Comes with the bike and then 3 of his little droids that he has, the probe droids. But I think it takes up a lot of space in my army. It still is really cool. And of course, if I have to include a Sith Infiltrator, I have to include his regular figure here, being this Darth Maul from 2024. Sadly, this one doesn't have any pupils, but besides that, I mean, it is a basic Maul fig, but it looks really nice. Also, I have the Asajj Ventress from the V19 Torrent. The only difference I would really make is definitely some arm printing. She definitely needs it really badly, but you can see her legs got printing, and the Obi-Wan that came in the set also got a whole ton of printing. Now, for actual droids, I have around 7 newer versions of the B2 Battle Droid from the 2023 Battle Pack and the 2025 327th Battle Pack. And I also have 7 of the B1s, including this special Kashyyyk or pilot version that came to the AAT, which is kind of weird. It's definitely the Kashyyyk version, but Lego calls it the pilot version. That came again in the Armored Assault Tank. So including him, I have 7 of the regular B1s, and I have 1 Commando Droid, which I got from Brick World this year, Brick World 2025. Got him for around $15, which was a little bit overpriced, but still I think it is a really nice figure, especially because it's better than the 3 that is included in the MTT, which I think is the exact same one. It's just a gunmetal gray for some reason, which makes no sense because this is the actual accurate color that it's supposed to include and makes it look a lot better. So they kind of changed it for no reason. So I wanted to get a hold of this older droid there, and that's definitely one of my favorite droids and part of this army. And if I'm including Darth Maul, I have to include the Santa Maul, which is even less part of the Trade Federation or Separatist Army. You can see his cape in there. Brand new sealed. Looks very nice. I'll probably open this on Christmas for a Christmas video, so heads up on that if you want to see that later this year. But that pretty much wraps it up for most of the vehicles and battle droids, as well as minifigs in my army. I do have a little bit of extra parts that I can't really build enough to have a complete droid, which is kind of crazy, but I can use that for some other mocks for different droid parts. And you probably noticed I have this B2 Black Series in the back, but I honestly thought it was cool for the army because, of course, it's a Separatist army. I'm not really including it, but I think it looks good in the back of it. But that is going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing rest of your day, and see you on the next one.